And when that happens, the Hostess bakery company can lose business to other companies with a better customer service sector. The low reviews and ratings a product has will ultimately reflect how the business is done as a whole. Now, on top of that, Hostess baking company does not contribute to charity or education. Many popular and successful companies contribute to charity and education, such as Lowe's, Kohl's, Hershey, Stop and Shop, TJ Maxx, and among many others. Hostess does not specialize in anything else other than food, and this may be a good idea to specialize in something else other than your primary, so that you can popularize yourself. And there is a direct correlation between businesses that include themselves in charity and education, that they will end up tending to be more successful. And even though they haven't contributed to education or charity, they contributed to new technology. 1.8 million mini donuts, 1.4 million chocolate cupcakes, 1.5 million Twinkies, all produced in one 24-hour period in a factory in Emporia, Kansas. So this means that new technology for future opportunities is in for the industry. Now that I have explained to you some of the company issues and information, let me yield to Michelle to discuss why the company fell.
Brian, they ran out of Twinkies.
Yeah.
And they ran out of cupcakes and ho-hos. I know.
Alright, so as you can see, what I just showed you, the baby's visibly upset that there's no more Twinkies, there's no more ho-hos, and he shares the sentiments of all Americans when we found out that Hostess was filing for bankruptcy and shutting down. So let's talk about, well, now that I've shown you, the common reaction, let's talk about what brought us there. There were a few factors that led to the downfall of Hostess, one of them being bad management, overwhelming debt. The company had Matt stated, was very big on unions, and they had come up with over 300 agreements with different unions, giving them very exceptional pension plans and high wages and stuff like that. But because of that, the employees did like working there, but the agreements and stuff added up to about $2 billion in unfunded pension plans, and in those years, unfortunately, Hostess only took in about $2.5 billion. So you do the math. They're only bringing in 2.5. They got to shell out $2 billion to for their unions. So that's really not making much of a profit. But it wasn't the first time that Hostess was in bad waters. Hostess actually filed for bankruptcy in 2004 and 2012 because of this. It was a pattern. The pattern of the expensive pension plans and the low revenue essentially forced the company to get into about $670 million worth of debt. Also had, adding to the high labor costs, as I have here, is Hostess had an old-fashioned mindset on how they would make their products and deliver their products. They were dead set on using separate drivers for different goods. So those delivery methods took up about 36% of their revenue. So again, if they're only making a certain amount and you're spending 36% on stuff like delivery, the company's really not taking in that much money. Also, the prices of sugar and flour, which is a key ingredient in all these lovely delicatessens here, had risen, so they're not having it, or they're not making enough money to pay for those. A second factor into why they fell was the bakers on strike. Matt touched up on it a little bit. I'll give you guys a little bit more of a detail. Like he had said, 79% of the Hostess workers were all union members. So in an attempt to cut those costs, Hostess tried to recreate and refinance, if that's not really the word, but you know what I mean, renegotiate, their pension plans and what they were giving to their employees, and they were cutting in wages and benefits. They were trying to do that to save more money. However, like the video that Matt had showed before, the people were really angry because they're so used to making this money and having these benefits, and now the company's going to take that away from them to save their butts, and they didn't want to hear it. So essentially, they got upset and they went on strike. But because again, 79% of the employees are all union workers, if 79% of your workers aren't working, who's making the products? Who's selling? Who's delivering the products? Who's bringing stuff out? No one. So according to LA Times, and I actually don't have that up there, but I will read it to you. The LA Times blamed Hostess, and they called it a the union for crippling its operations at a time when the company lacked the financial resources to survive significant labor action. And that explains it perfectly. You know, the company at that time was not in the position to, or they couldn't afford basically losing any more business, losing any more revenue, and because of the bakers going on strike, that happened, and it closed production, or stopped production, about 12 out of 33 plants, which really gave the company a big hit. But that, all of these factors are all kind of behind the scenes. What everybody knows now is that, you know, Hostess has been around for a really long time. They sell snowballs, they sell Twinkies, they sell Wonder Bread, but who still eats Wonder Bread? Nobody. So their products were known for being sugary and sweet. And in the early 2000s, that's when kind of like the demand for junk food went down and people wanted to be more, you know, about their health, and the whole health craze came. And obviously, like, these are not healthy products. So instead of recreating their products and putting stuff out that might be more appetizing to their consumers, they didn't. So Time Business Magazine actually said that Hostess had been stuck in the 60s, and that's kind of a good assessment because they hadn't changed anything. Also adding to that was, you know, last Hostess commercial was created in the early 2000s, so it's been, what, 17 years? Have you guys seen any commercials about Hostess? Except for what we showed you, the old ones? Right. But, you know, that, they weren't down for long. Gloria, I'm going to yield to her, and she's going to tell you about their triumphant return. So.
Now that I have shown you those photos, let me therefore go to the facts that made Hostess company rise again, as well as the new products. Introduce you to some of the new products of Hostess company, as pictured in the slides. So, the sweetest comeback ever, the rise of the Hostess company brands, LLC from bankruptcy cannot be called anything but a success. It is important to look at how the company gets its products to the market. It is totally different. It is 100% different from what they did in the past. And it's a good thing because the old company, the old management the old company used the DSD system of distribution, which was consuming all 34% of the sales. Whereas the DTW, direct to warehouse distribution system, is different. The costs are only 18%, which is 16% margin that falls right to the bottom line. So basically, it's the distribution and transportation cost that falls down to them and benefits the margins. The company officially restarted production of snack cakes on June 6, 2013, with products officially going on sale on July 15, 2013. In the summer of 2015, it began producing Hostess bread and buns. Hostess Brands LLC is now collaborating with Nestle Dreyer's ice cream company to launch new frozen Hostess novelties and ice cream, giving fans a new way to indulge in their favorite treats. The new ice cream flavors are available in the grocery stores and dollar stores, freezers. So, some of the new ice cream products are like Twinkie cone. This is the scrumptious cone with creamy Twinkie flavored frozen dairy deliciousness. Ding Dong sandwich, a fun twist on the classic ice cream sandwich. Smooth chocolate on the outside, creamy vanilla on the inside. The way everybody remembers it, only cooler. America's like favorite golden ice snack cake in a sweet frosting. Cupcakes. This chocolate ice cream is studded with bite-sized cupcakes pieces and swirled with creamy frosting. Snowballs. Snowballs ice cream is a perfect combination of bite-sized chocolate cake pieces and with coconut swirl in a silky marshmallow ice cream. Now that I have spoken about Hostess revival in the market and the new products, I'm going to yield to Sinai to conclude our Hostess presentation.
Now that you have heard about the rise, fall, and rebirth of the Hostess company, I will sum up the company's most crucial points. So as you all heard, the company was very successful in 1919. The first product that they created was the Hostess cupcake, followed by the Twinkie, which was created in 1930. Jimmy Dowell was the creator of the Twinkie and gained much recognition for it, and it became known as the American icon. The Continental Baking Company, where Jimmy Dowell worked, went through a merge and became the Hostess brands. With new advancements in technology, the company was able to produce a variety of products in just 24 hours. Some of the downfalls that the Hostess company went through was that it went through bankruptcy and lost up to 36% of revenue on June 6, 2013. Dean Metropolis and Apollo bought the company out of bankruptcy. Because of them, we are still able to enjoy the Hostess products that were made. Hostess made a comeback and was able to recover from the fall they went through with the invention of new products: Hostess cupcake, ice cream, snowballs, and Twinkie ice cream. And now I will yield you to our trivia game that we have created.
Dun, dun, dun.
So the first question is, who invented the Hostess Twinkies? So if you know, raise your hand.
You get a cupcake if you get it right.
We said it 3 times throughout the entire presentation. If you could get the initials, first name, even something that sounds remotely close to it.
Where they were made.
Come on. Come on, guys, really.
Is
All
it
right.
like,
Jerry
All right, we got Jerry, that's really close. Go ahead, go ahead.
is it like John or Jimmy Dewar or something?
There you
All
go.
right. Come on, guys.
Thank you.
You're
She gets
welcome.
one point.
Oh, sure.
Okay, next question. What year was Hostess name changed?
Give us like a general, like what do you guys think? Like, you know. All right, thank you. Give this guy some. Give him some. He's doing good over here. All right.
Okay, third question. What caused the fall of the Hostess baking company?
All right. Go ahead.
Pension plans?
That's a good one, yes.
Very good. You too, guys.
Last question.
Yeah,
what was
you.
the last
Yeah.
Hostess commercial created?
Yes?
Yes.
Very good. Who said that?
And we're done.
All right.
Alright.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's all.
Okay, great job.
Thank you.
If anyone wants any products, feel free to let us know.
You gotta take this down now. Want me to take back the surveys and then give them what their product is?
Thank you.
Okay, Matt, let me just see your group in the next room while they're setting up. Real quick. I need 1 note card from each person. What is that thing in the center?
It's an easy bake oven. It's supposed to look like a factory over there.
You want me to write my name?
Yes.
You
One.
care where? Can I steal
All right, Matt, let me see your group out in the next room. Please start setting up, ladies.
Here you go. That's great. I'm gonna go table by table, so like I'm gonna go straight down and then just go up.
I guess you just have to go into the other room. real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's great.
Here you go.
We'll take all this stuff.